Welcome back to CHOWTIME Pods. Your host, Red. I got videos today from men only.
So I'm hosting a speed dating event, and like 9 women have showed up and only 2 males. Why?
Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about how singles events are on life support, and modern women are absolutely stunned as more and more men are flat out refusing to show up.
It's just funny because I cover this every once a month or once every other month or so because it comes up constantly nowadays. Women are so desperate.
Tables full of women and empty chairs where the men used to be. It's not a coincidence. It's a clear message. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real talk and unfiltered truths.
So I went to a singles event last night in downtown Phoenix. I had seen their events on TikTok and it looked super fun, but it was not what I thought it was gonna be. I swear on the TikTok that I saw was that they had you fill out a questionnaire, and at some point in the night they grouped people into groups so that you could mingle and get to know people out of your comfort zone, whatever. That's not what happened last night. It was at Pemberton, but the bar was still open to the public, so the event was just sectioned off in half the bar. But once you got into the event area, it was just like you were at a bar. There was nothing that made it special to a singles event to help you try to get to know people besides everyone in the bar was single. But then to enjoy Pemberton, you had to go.
That's the whole point of singles events, just to meet singles people. Do you need them to do different events / activities or something? Just go meet single people.
Out of the event area to get drinks. So I paid for a ticket for a private area of the bar, but it kind of defeated the purpose. I still had a fun night with my girls. I would highly not recommend going by yourself. There was hundreds of people at this thing. There's no way I could have gone alone.
This woman went to a singles event in downtown Phoenix thinking it was going to be some kind of real-life fairy tale. Eye contact, charm, organic chemistry. You know, the whole meet-cute fantasy. And now she's on social media crying that it was no better than the dating apps. Shocking, right? Here's the thing. A lot of women today are realizing in real time that the problem isn't the platform. It's the dating pool. Whether it's Tinder, a rooftop mixer, or speed dating in some overpriced lounge, the same reality hits. The men you want aren't showing up in droves to compete for your attention like it's the Bachelorette.
Men kind of backed away from competing for women. We compete in other ways, especially for money, careers, sports. Women?
You can blame dating apps all you want, but at some point, you have to ask, what are you bringing to the table besides expectations? Because men aren't stupid. They see the entitlement, the checklists, the attitude that says, if you're not my ideal man, don't even look at me. And then you're confused when the vibe is off. Singles events today are just dating apps with overpriced cocktails and bad lighting.
Pretty much. It's worse than dating apps in my opinion because you're going to get rejected directly in your face. And you're wasting money, right? At least on dating apps, you don't have to waste money, I guess. You probably do somewhat, but over there, you're going to have to pay to get in, probably pay for the cocktails and pay for your drinks for women.
The problem
and then get rejected in your face
isn't the apps or the venues. It's that modern dating has become a game of unrealistic standards, selective effort, and shallow impressions. And now the very same women who swore they were done with swiping are realizing they brought the same energy into the real world and got the same results. Sorry, but you don't magically attract quality men just by showing up. If you're walking into a singles event expecting Prince Charming to read your mind, say all the right things, and sweep you off your feet without you putting in any effort, you're not looking for a relationship, you're looking for a performance. The dating world today? It's a mirror. And a lot of people, especially women with inflated expectations, don't like what it's reflecting.
I think it's perfectly socially acceptable to go on dates as a hobby. One of my hobbies is going on first dates.
Yeah, broke, dusty, musty, crusty.
And here I am. I go on the first date, sure, yeah, to meet the guy, to talk, get to know them, tell them about me,
him paying all the bills.
Is there potential love there, whatever, that's a small part of it. The big part of it is that I go and I get to try a new restaurant or a new spot in Boston. And usually, if the
Exactly. They're trying to hide it in some way as if you're not using these men for their resources and money just to go to places that you can't afford because you're a broke, dusty, musty, crusty.
Not always. It's fun to buy the guy. So I'm like, ooh, like, let's go explore a little bit. Let's try to, like,
Let's just flip this around and women would go ballistic.
grow what I know about my city. And then when I go out with my friends, I can be like, oh my God, I went to this really cool new spot. Like, let me show you. So I always try to get the guy to, like, pick a restaurant that I haven't been to yet, or pick a cool new up and coming spot.
This shit is diabolical.
Or whatever. So anyway, today we are going to the F1 arcade in Seaport, which I haven't been to, but it's like run by like the F1 racing company or whatever. And it's got like all these like simulators and I don't know, like professional race car driving games. So that's what we're doing today. Never been. The offer was that or Pet Shack. And I'm like, I've already done Pet Shack, and like Cisco's right there, so that might be a part of it. But I'm really excited to go and check it out and try something new and explore more of my city. Because if I'm gonna go on a date and like this guy might be great, but you know, he might also just like, most likely most of them are just like not my vibe, like, and that's fine. But at least I'm gonna go try a new spot and go drive some fast cars.
This woman actually said that she thinks it's perfectly socially acceptable to go on dates as a hobby. Like, seriously.
Like, I want to just smack some people. I wish I can just reach in there, get into this computer, and just like put my hand in the screen and just...
She listed going on first dates as one of her hobbies. Here's the thing. Her hobby isn't dating. It's collecting free meals while wasting men's time. Let's just call it what it is.
Yep.
So when your date asks...
It's not just free meals, free experiences. All different meals from different places and different experiences. That's what she wants.
about your hobbies, do you look him dead in the eye and say, I like to go on first dates? Be real. That's not a hobby. That's grifting with lip gloss and a smile. You're not there to connect, build, or explore anything serious. You're there for the appetizers, the drinks, and the validation. And what makes it worse is the audacity to say it out loud, proudly. Like dating isn't already hard enough for men out here navigating landmines of ghosting, entitlement, and now apparently serial hobby daters.
And they wonder where all the good men at. Watch these videos, ladies, so you know that men watch them too. We ain't playing.
Imagine being a man who plans, pays, and tries to make a genuine connection, only to find out she's been on 4 other hobby dates this week. But hey, it's socially acceptable, right? Not for the men wasting their time and money. It's draining, disrespectful, and straight up manipulative. Bottom line.
It's like if men do this, we still shame them. You know, like, oh man, I'm just gonna go around just using women, abusing them. I'm not gonna go tell a man, oh, congratulations, keep doing it. No, stop it. Get some help. Both sides should stop doing this.
Dating isn't a theme park. It's not something you casually treat like a Netflix series with no consequences. If you see first dates as a form of entertainment, maybe take a break, because real people are getting tired of being used as part of your weekend plans.
Question for single men. What is your thought on dating a woman that has children? That can
It's a no dice.
be 1, that can be 4, whatever. Is it a hard no for you? Do you not care?
Are we talking about like just dating casually? Or are we talking about dating to marry? Or just dating to screw? We can do the casual and screw part. I don't think we're gonna marry though.
Is it dependent upon what that lady's life is like that she can take care of her own children on her own without you?
I would hope so.
What are some factors that go into it? Also, if it's a hard no, I'm really curious to know, do you have children? Also, what is your age? As you get older, I would assume if you're wanting women the same age as you or around there, a lot of them are going to have children. They will have been divorced.
That's the great thing about us men. We don't have to deal with women that are our age when we get older. We just deal with younger women.
If they're in their late 30s and they don't, or they've never been married or whatever, and I think the same for men, kind of a red flag. So curious on men's opinions.
I think it's more of a red flag for women not being married or in a relationship or anything like that than men, because men need the grind. It's okay for a lot of men to just kind of put their heads down.
On this, women with children, do they care? Will they date them? Is that an obstacle, or does it not matter? Let me know in the comments.
This woman is literally out here asking if it's a hard no for men when it comes to dating women
She knows. She's just asking these questions just to be facetious.
with kids. Like she's shocked this is even a question.
Right?
She wants to know, will men still date women with children? Here's the thing. Most women with kids aren't dating, they're recruiting. And what they're looking for isn't love, it's a provider. Let's be real. A man isn't just dating you. He's stepping into a situation with a child that isn't his, emotional baggage from a past relationship, and expectations to provide, protect, and perform, with none of the respect or loyalty that used to come with that role. It's not a relationship, it's a job application. And what makes it worse is the entitlement. A lot of these women expect a man to come in and do what the biological father didn't, without asking what they bring to the table beyond a child and a list of demands. You're not his piece, you're a project. And most men aren't signing up for that. Men have woken up. They know the difference between being loved and being used.
I don't think so. I think a lot of men still are not sure of the two.
They don't want to be the cleanup crew for someone
But they're starting.
else's bad decisions. And let's be honest, if the roles were reversed, most of these women wouldn't even consider dating a man with the same baggage. So when you ask if it's a hard no, yeah, for a lot of men it is. Because they're not looking to raise someone else's kids, fix someone else's past, or play a supporting role in a life that doesn't prioritize them. They want a partner, not a position.
If you see a pretty girl at a bar, at a restaurant, send her a drink or an appetizer.
Hell no. Send her a drink or an appetizer? Free food or drinks? Nah.
Spend the $10
Stop.
to impress her.
Nah.
Don't just come over and tell her how pretty she is. We like actions.
Action or money? Us coming over to tell you how you're pretty you are is an action, by the way.
So, send her a drink. Send her an appetizer. Do something nice. Girls like that. Don't just stare at them or be afraid to go talk to them. That's another thing. Girls like aggressive guys that aren't afraid. Well,
This is how you go to jail. Listening to women like this.
aggressive in the right kind of way. Aggressive, like polite, chivalry,
How is that aggressive?
all those nice things. We like to be wined and dined.
They just changed the meaning of words left and right.
I didn't invent it. It's just how it works. So, dating tip for you boys. If you see a pretty girl, send her a drink. Send her an appetizer. Do something sweet.
The shaming tactic, you boys. All right, girl.
We like that. Just don't sit across the bar and stare at her. Please. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. Bye.
This woman is literally out here giving dating tips to men like it's still 1995. She's saying, if you see a pretty woman at a bar or restaurant, do something sweet. Don't just sit and stare. And of course, she throws in the classic line, women like guys who go after what they want. Here's the thing, we can't do that anymore. That romantic gesture she's talking about, in today's world, it gets you labeled a creep or worse. Men aren't just risking rejection. They're risking public shaming, screenshots, TikToks,
And jail.
and being turned into a meme for daring to approach a woman in the wrong way. Let's not pretend. If you're not attractive or her type, that sweet gesture suddenly becomes harassment. We've seen the double standards. A good-looking guy says something flirty, it's charming. An average guy says the same thing, it's creepy. It has nothing to do with confidence or going after what you want. It's about whether she's already attracted to you. Period. That's why most men just stay quiet. They sit and stare, sure, because saying something might turn into a viral clip titled, "This random guy wouldn't leave me alone at the bar." And then what? Instant character assassination over a basic human interaction. So thanks for the outdated advice, but it doesn't work anymore. Today's dating game isn't about sweet gestures. It's about playing it safe. Because the risk for men is way too high, and women only want you to shoot your shot if you're already winning the game.
You guys, where are we meeting our boyfriends and girlfriends in 2025? Because for me, it's not going to be on a dating app. I am fully convinced that they want us to stay single. Not my thing. But I want a man. I don't need one, but I want one. I've been single long enough, and I want someone who's my bestie and my man, my man, my man. But where are we meeting them? Because
Girl, you're like 40. You're pretty up there. My man, my man, my man ain't here.
I'm not a sporty girl. I'm not gonna join a run club or go play volleyball or pickleball or whatever the fuck. Not my thing. I get it. Just not my thing. I go to the gym, so I'm, taking care of myself, but I'm not a sporty girl. I want to find someone fun and silly, and if we cannot laugh, it will be a deal breaker. But also someone who has this shit together. Someone who knows what he wants. Someone who's open to having a partner in their life and to grow with and be a dream team with.
Dream team? What are you gonna do to make this dream happen? Nothing, because you already want the man of your dreams.
I don't care what you do as long as you have your goals and your ambitions and you're working
Why are you lying?
on something and you're happy to do it. I want you to love what you're doing because we are not going to be miserable over here, babe. Someone who enjoys a feminine woman. I wear my dresses and my heels and I like to stay in my feminine energy. So I want to be able to just turn my brain off and you be a man. You make me feel safe and protected and at peace. And I'm not a height queen, but I'm 5'6" and I do wear heels, so give me a little something to work with there. Someone who is physically and emotionally, mentally healthy, emotionally mature and intelligent.
It's like everything that she's listing, it sounds reasonable. It actually doesn't sound bad. But when you actually listen to her saying these things and you look at her and her attitude about everything, that's not what she wants.
Someone who can communicate, someone who can listen and talk openly and honestly and not just tell me what I want to hear, but we need to be able to communicate.
But yeah. So not tell you to, that you're wrong or no or hold you accountable.
That's how you grow and bond and love. And someone who's not going to say one thing and do another, because I don't know what that is. It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, where's that fun man? Mid-30s and up, because 38.
Oh, okay. I was close.
Man. Someone who wants to travel together. Because we need to go on our little vacations.
We or you? I don't need to go on any vacation. I'm perfectly happy with working and doing the things I'm doing with my hobbies.
Potential deal breaker. I will not be birthing any children. We can talk about it if we need to.
We know your eggs are cooked.
But if you have your own, that's fine. At this big age, I kind of expect it. I could be stepmom. But yeah, babe, where are you at? Because I'm tired of doing life by myself.
It's like they make these videos talking kind of shit and all this, but what is it really? It's just them begging for men. All these videos are just women begging for men to show up. Obviously, the men that they seem to be spouting out and all of these criterias, but they're just begging men because no man is showing up.
And yeah, where are we finding our loves, you guys?
She's out here asking, where are we meeting our boyfriends in 2025? And she's fully convinced it's not going to be on dating apps. She says she wants a man, but she doesn't need one, because apparently, being single for long enough has given her all the enlightenment in the world. Here's the thing. You can keep shouting, I don't need a man, all you want, but you're still asking where to find one. Make it make sense. The math ain't mateing. You've been single for long enough. Okay, and how's that working out for you? Because what we're really seeing is a generation of women doing everything but taking accountability. It's not the dating apps, sis. It's not the city you're in. It's not Mercury in retrograde. It might just be you. And let's not ignore the irony. You want a man, but the moment a man shows up, there's a checklist longer than a CVS receipt. He's got to be tall, financially stable, emotionally intelligent, confident, but not too confident, funny but not too goofy, masculine but in your preferred way. Modern dating isn't broken. The expectations are. So yeah, you might not meet him on a dating app. But until women start being wife material, not just expecting husband-level man, it won't matter where y'all are meeting. Whether it's 2025 or 2055, the results will still be the same.
In a survey with Angelinos earlier this year, LA was rated one of the worst cities in the world for dating. And knowing that, I went to a singles game night tonight in downtown LA with some extra insight. And I think this kind of event appeals to a lot of people who want to be more serious and intentional about dating and don't just want to meet someone at a bar, even though it was at a bar. I've been to one of these events before, and at that time, I thought everyone there was desperate for dating, desperate for love, desperate for, didn't really care who. And I don't completely disagree with that assessment, but I want to update it. Because today I went to this event, and I agree. I think that everyone there was desperate, but it was desperate for something else. I think it was just desperate for connection. One of the first guys I met as soon as I walked in, he was going to the bar, so we ended up talking, and afterwards, I wanted to play some games because I actually do like game boards, and so we were sitting down, and there's games scattered on every table, so I was like, we can play this one, and it seemed like, and he kind of made it clear, like, he just wanted to talk. Like, the game part was cool, but he really just wanted someone to talk to. I respected that, so I put the game away, and then we just talked. And honestly, yes, I'm pretty sure everyone there was just, hoping to meet someone they could make a connection with and they would like. But it also seemed like no one there was trying too hard to do that. They were just wanting a connection, period, wanting to talk to people who may be in the same
people are lonely now.
mindset as them, maybe make new friends, just were open for something. So then I talked to a second person who, me and him were in the same boat where we're at an age where all of our friends are married and having kids and doing that whole thing, and we're just out there traveling and being single. And he said something that I completely agreed with. He was saying that, with his married friends with kids, they look at him and they're so envious of his life, and he just gets to travel and do what he wants and has all this freedom. And he tells them, like, I would trade what I have for what you have. He wanted the marriage and kids. He wanted that. He would trade that, his life for having a partner.
That's kind of my boat, right? Like, a lot of my friends look at me and they're just like, oh, you get to do whatever you want. You're kind of, you're not attached to anybody. You make good money and all this stuff. And it's just like, I'd rather have a family. I'd rather have 2 kids like you guys, with a good wife and, living it up. Yes, it's a struggle on your end, a little bit different than a struggle on my end, but it's just so funny that we're always envious of things that we don't have and envious of others.
So I told him, yeah, I want the same. Like, I want the marriage and I want a family and all that one day too. And right now it's like, I know I don't have those things. So it's just, don't have those things and be miserable, or just make the most of what you have. We know that we have our freedom now and that we may not always have that. So we're just enjoying what we can now. It doesn't mean that we don't want the alternative. And I will say this group was mostly in their 30s. There were a few younger, a few older, but I think the crowd seemed to be in the 30 range. At the end of that night, it just had me thinking about that survey about Angelinos and how it's so hard to date in LA because it just feels so disconnected in the city. It feels like people are really inauthentic and not genuine. And even in this environment, it was like people wanted the connection, but it felt hard to really be yourself, or to be scared to be yourself in front of strangers and to connect with strangers. But I have a feeling that's not what we really want. Maybe.
In those kind of settings, I feel like half of it is performative, right? Most men are trying to perform a certain, image, and then women are doing the same.
Not to connect with strangers, but just to have genuine connections in life. I think that many Angelinos, making that connection is desirable, but it's also tiring, and I think that we live in a city that just keeps us always on the go. And in between traffic and...
living in California, Los Angeles, that hustle culture, it is the most apparent here, right? I don't know about New York or anything, but I do know in LA, everybody hustles. Everybody. Just to afford your rent, you have to hustle.
Work and just everything else going on. It is really hard to get yourself out there to the city sometimes for stuff like this. Plus the parking.
Oh God, I hate LA parking.
No,
the
I'm
worst.
glad I went.
She said she's looking for a connection. Oh, really? Let me...
And it's just funny that she found a guy that was pretty much looking for the same thing she was. How did they not connect?
ask you this. What exactly is connection code for? What are you actually looking for? Because let's be honest, whenever women say, I just want a deep connection, what they really mean is, I want a man who has money, confidence, emotional intelligence, charisma, and makes me feel butterflies without expecting anything in return until I'm ready, if ever. Here's the thing. Connection has become the most vague, overused, and conveniently flexible term in the modern dating world. It's
True.
the new smokescreen. It means everything and nothing at the same time. One moment it's about emotional intimacy, the next it's about vibes, and then somehow it's an excuse to ghost someone because the connection just wasn't there. Translation: he didn't check all your boxes fast enough. If you're truly looking for something meaningful, stop hiding behind vague words and start being honest. Say what you really want. If it's a relationship, say that. If it's attention, say that. If it's a walking wallet and therapist combo, at least have the courage to be upfront. Because until then, the word connection will just keep being used by people who want high-value results with low-value clarity.
Okay, so I am back from the Tantra speed dating event. It was long. It started at 6:30 and we didn't leave until like 10. But it was better than I expected. I thoroughly expected that it was going to be really uncomfortable, really awkward. To be truly honest, I thought that it would attract men who were on the creepier side because of the word Tantra. And
I don't even know what that word means.
I just assumed because of that word that it would attract men who sort of just wanted to touch women or hug women or try to
I mean, yes, there are women that are very lonely that would love to be touched and hugged, but I don't think men are going to these things because they're desperate and want these things from women and are trying to get these things from women in this way.
talk about sex. But it really wasn't that way. So you arrive.
See, it's like that the narrative of men are just predator creeps that want sex all the time. And then when she actually goes and experiences it, it is so stark different from what she thought. She's like, it's not what I expected.
And there's like an icebreaker where they give you like a card with a question on it and you can go and talk to people. And then there's like a whole it's too long in my opinion. It seemed like it was like an hour, like an opening sort of ceremony where there were rules and explanations and introductions. And that was fine. It was just a bit long. And then we actually started. And basically, the women have a circle inside and the men have a circle outside of the ring of women. And so you have an exercise, and then the woman can drop her bead into his pouch or like a fake, like pretend to drop a bead into his pouch. And then you do that with each person, an exercise, and then you either drop a bead if you want to continue the connection, or you pretend to drop a bead. And the exercises were interesting. They weren't
This is an interesting way to reject people, or like a little softer, I guess.
sort of as uncomfortable as I had thought. There were several like holding the other person exercises, which to me was a bit much, but it was also okay. I just wish it wasn't as long as it was. They were quite long. And I feel like that type of immediate intimacy
Like hugging?
is a bit much. But you always
I mean, tell you the truth, a lot of people can use hugs. A lot. Even myself, right? When someone hugs you and embraces you fully and actually hugs you genuinely, it is such a different feeling. It is a feeling I think most people yearn for, right? Because we don't get those, especially men. We don't get that type of reciprocation or that type of doting on us, right? When we get hugs, most of us just side hug here and there, but a true embrace with our even our buddies, our parents, our loved ones, we still don't usually get that. So even an embrace from a stranger sometimes can fix things or change things.
Always have the option to opt out and do something different. And I saw a lot of people doing that. So, and the host makes it really clear that you can opt out. The quality of the people there was way better than I expected. There weren't any creepy people that I could sense. Everyone seemed really present and engaged and thoughtful and kind. And I really liked the quantity of people. Like, gosh, I had to have met like at least 15 or more men. And
this event seemed like it did pretty well. Like, I don't hate on it if it does well. It's a good thing, I guess.
And overall, I'm glad I did it. I'm exhausted. I went hiking this morning and I didn't eat dinner. So I got back and just rushed to get dressed. Also, I was going to wear a skirt and knee-high boots, but you're barefoot or, in your socks, and you have to sit on the ground a lot. So it's important to wear pants, and I'm glad I wore pants. Overall, I would do it again. I've spent time at other speed dating events, and this was definitely the best one.
But you didn't speak of any connection. You didn't really talk about you connected with a man or anything. It's just, do you just want to socialize? Is that what this is to you?
It was worth the time, the effort. I think it was really, really surprising. So if you have any questions, let me know and I will answer them. I think I covered the basics, and I don't know, we'll see if I get any matches. I probably put my bead into, I don't know, a few men's pouches. So we'll see what happens.
So I'm hosting a speed dating event, and 9 women have showed up and only 2 males. Why? And 7 males pay for tickets. So I don't know why. Why don't men come to speed dating events?
This woman is out here wondering why men don't show up to her speed dating events. Sis said she hosted a whole dating event and only 2 men showed up. Just 2. She's baffled, confused, looking around where are all the good men at? Here's the thing. They're not coming, and for good reason. Attractive men? They don't need speed dating.
Nope.
They get approached in real life, on social media, through mutual friends.
That's how I know I'm not attractive. I've never gotten approached in real life.
Or while just standing in line grabbing coffee. The idea of paying to share space with women isn't exactly appealing to a man who already has women in his DMs. Meanwhile, less attractive or less confident men, they're not showing up either because they already know how it ends. Rejection, awkwardness, and for what? To maybe get a match with someone who's already looking past them? Yeah, no thanks. Let's keep it real. Most of these events are filled with women who are 3s, 4s, and 5s in looks but think they're entitled to a man who's 6 feet 2 inches, confident, financially stable, emotionally mature, has game, a six-pack, and knows how to salsa dance. Be serious. The men they want aren't going to speed.
They really do like men that know how to dance, by the way. So go learn some salsa, some bachata. You'll get some women.
Dating. And the men they don't want are tired of paying just to be rejected 20 times in one night. Speed dating has become a rejection ritual for men. When we meet women organically, we might get rejected once or twice a week. At a dating event, it's like a rejection marathon. You're literally paying for disappointment, like ordering chicken tenders at a seafood spot and wondering why it tastes off. Bottom line, the men that women are hoping to meet at these events have options. And the women those men want aren't sitting at folding tables speed dating either. So until the fantasy wears off and reality kicks in, you'll be hosting events with empty chairs and wondering where the good men went.
Last year, I saw so many Black women try to solve a problem in dating by starting to host events in person, trying to create third spaces to facilitate dating like offline. And you know what would happen every single time? The men were not signing up. They would be selling tickets to speed dating, and they would always end up with men's tickets on sale. Always, because they weren't buying any. Just the other day, a big account that I follow for Black creatives did like this cute Cupid thing where they were like, hey, send us a profile about yourself and we would love to post it and like play matchmaker. Sounds like a cute idea, right? Not one single man sent their profile in. And mind you, this is an account that has well over 100,000 followers. It's just time to stop. It's time to stop. They have made it very loud and clear that they do not want to try. They don't want to approach. No matter how you curate different activities to get them interested, they're not. And I'm not saying that men who seriously want to date don't exist.
They just really think it's the event and stuff. They don't really realize it's you, ladies. You're the problem. This is why men aren't showing up. It's not because the event itself, it's because of the women.
But I think on a large scale in major cities, the dating events, you know, all these creative ways that we're trying to get them interested, they're not there. I don't think that these men are tapped into social media. I really don't. I think that they are locked in on their hobbies and in communities that matter to them.
This woman's out here asking why men aren't signing up for curated dating events like speed dating or mixers. Sis, let's break this down gently. Men don't like curated dating experiences. Period. See, most men prefer authenticity, organic connection, natural vibe, not some awkward, time-slotted conversations at a table with strangers while a bell rings every 5 minutes. That's not chemistry. That's an interview. It feels forced, not fun. And here's the truth no one wants to say. Men are tired. They've already spent years playing the approaching game, walking up, being respectful, trying to hold conversation, only to be rejected, laughed at, or even labeled as creepy just because the woman wasn't attracted to him. You do that enough times, it's not just discouraging, it's demoralizing. So now, men are walking away. They're done performing for attention, done trying to impress women who don't bring half of what they expect. They're choosing peace over pressure, solitude over spectacle. Throw a dinner party with friends? Cool. Meet someone through mutual connections or in a relaxed environment? Maybe. But sign up for a curated dating event where the odds are stacked against them and the vibe is awkward from the jump? Yeah, hard pass. Truth is, the kind of men women want at these events aren't showing up, and the kind of men that do show up aren't appreciated. So really, what incentive do men have anymore? They're not anti-connection. They're just done chasing validation in places where they already know the outcome.
I refuse to go to any more singles events, and this is why. So I've been to 4 different singles events in my time, in the past year, I would say. 3 of them were speed dating, and 1 of them was like a mixer, okay? And every single time I go to these things, I stay open-minded, and I think, look, you never know who you can meet, you know, just give it a go. And also, you know what, if you don't meet anyone, it's fine. You're going to have a good time. Okay, that is the positive. I always do have a good time, okay? So I'm not knocking that side of it. But as far as eligible bachelors go... Oh, sorry, by the way, this is hot chocolate that I spilled on myself. Anyway, so as far as eligible bachelors go, there's not many of them at these events, okay? And if anybody else has been to these events, let me know. Because honestly, is this a nationwide thing? I don't know, but essentially every time I go, there's like, you know, these are the categories of people that you meet. Okay, you meet the ones that live far away. Why have you come to these events if you live far away? Pointless. Okay, pointless. Sometimes you get the people that go there for a bit of a joke. Fine, good, have a good time, but they're not usually serious. Then you get the ones that are like ready for marriage. They're like, you know, they're coming in with a goal and they are not leaving until they get that goal. So you get, you know, some of them that are very serious. And then you get, I don't know how to say this without being offensive, but
you get the leftovers, you know, the men that struggle in like romantic situations, and or maybe
You know, like that's pretty much all the women at the events are leftovers that struggle in romantic settings.
like talking to people. So I always feel sorry for those ones. So I chat to them and I sort of, you know, whatever. But last night, okay, so there was this one guy there, and like I'm chatting to him, you know, just sort of felt bad. He was on his own, you know. There was no obviously romantic connection or anything there, but he was like, he asked me out and I said no, and then I said I'm gonna go, and he gave me a hug and he squeezed me and he like sort of caressed my hand, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, how many more times can I turn up to these events and try to be nice and polite and open, and then
So a hug and a slight caress is too much nowadays.
it's just like,
I'm not saying the caress probably wasn't a little bit creepy, but it was just a hug. I don't think he was trying to fondle you.
yeah. And also, let me tell you, the girls, right? You meet the best girls there. I met some great friends at these events. And
Always the best
all
girls,
of us
every
are like,
time.
what is going on? Like, why is this the caliber of men that these events attract? And I genuinely think,
Like, women can never see any fault or flaw in other women. It's just, I mean, even if they do, they never admit it.
that
Roll
maybe the men that I'm looking for, they don't have to go to these events. Yeah. And it's just like, you want to be positive and you want to, like, you know, like say to yourself, like, I don't want to say like, oh, the dating pool is bad and everything, because again, you will believe that and it will, you know, you will look at the world that way. So I don't want to look at it like that, but I'm just frustrated because, like, I just can somebody vet the people going to these events, please, especially the men? Can somebody vet them? Because
You just get less men than you do already.
it's just not popping. It's
See, this is exactly the reason why men don't show up. Because normal, average men, this is how you're speaking about them.
just not. So that's my conclusion on these events. But I don't know if anybody else has been to them or what you think, or if you've actually met someone through these events. But yeah, it's not working. It's not working.
So this woman just said that the men who show up to singles events are the leftovers, the ones who struggle socially and romantically. And of course, in her mind, the women who attend, oh, they're not in that
All
same
tens.
category. Because apparently, when women are single at 35 plus, they're just waiting for the right one, not struggling. Right. Here's the thing. The women at these events aren't special. They're not some hidden gems just waiting to be discovered. They are the same women who ignored good men in their 20s, chased the bad boys, prioritized careers, brunches, and living life. And now, they're showing up to singles mixers hoping for a man who checks every box after wasting the years when they were the most desirable. That's the reality. You want to call the men leftovers? Well, let's talk about the women too. These are often women who are jaded, hypercritical, emotionally unavailable, or still holding on to trauma from past relationships. They've been on every dating app, rejected countless good men, and now expect to find Prince Charming in a hotel conference room speed dating night? Let's be real. You're not high value just because you showed up in heels. Men have been called creeps, weirdos, and socially awkward for years for trying to approach women. Now that they're showing up to events in hopes of finding someone genuinely interested, you shame them too? That's rich. The truth is, the kind of men women want aren't even attending these events because they don't need to. And the kind of men that do show up, they're the same ones women ignored for years.
Hey, I'm not trying to stop you from going to these single events. I'm just showing you the results of it and how women actually view men in these singles events. Like, it's just not great. You're kind of setting yourself up for failure, and not even normal failure. You're literally setting yourself up for like one of the more detrimental failures and rejections right in front of your face, and you paid for it. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.